Ain't going back, not gonna buy into all that. Hey, hey, ain't gonna hide, gonna let all the feels like a mother nature is on my side. Got a whole of the loving growing inside.
Hello, everyone. Welcome again to the Odyssey of Truth. Today, Cambell and I are starting our very new series, Escape to Freedom. Today will be just Cambell and I as we discuss dropping your baggage. After that, and every week, as we can arrange it, we're going to have a guest with us. So it'll be a three-way Escape to Freedom, different topics, different guests. Today, it's just Cambell and I. Drop your baggage. First thing you got to do on your way to freedom. Hey, Cambell.
Yes. How you going, Lorenzo? Yes. Drop the baggage, right? It just weighs you down, really, doesn't it? I think it was you who said if you jump the ship and try and swim away, but your pockets are full of gold, you probably won't get that far. And that's where we are. Is everyone's trying to drag the old world into the new world, aren't they? They're trying to build the new world based on what they know, which is where we came from, which we know is what doesn't work.
For sure.
We need to drop that and walk away unimpeded.
Unimpeded. I mean, you could look at it the opposite of most journeys. When people go on a journey, they pack all their shit, they pack all their stuff. They usually have a destination in mind. So they're packing some ideas of where they're going. You know, maybe they're packing their wallets, they're packing in a change of clothes, they're packing extra shoes, they're, whatever you're packing. But freedom is a journey of lightness instead of heaviness. So, basically, in order to get there, you have to drop your baggage, in my opinion. And that baggage could take many different categories. Let's say a baggage could be physical baggage, could be poundage baggage, could be people that don't really want to go to freedom with you but are saying they want to go, could be mental baggage. There's so many ways I would say that you have to, or you get to clear yourself. If you want to go somewhere new, as Cambell said, you can't drag the old world, your old ideas, anyone's old ideas, parents, relationships, children, whatever. If you honestly want to go to freedom, and that's going to be one of the topics, because we're going to cover different topics: intent, power, honesty, dedication, dreams, mental, physical. All these things are coming over the next few months as Cambell and I dive deeper because we were asked to do so. So dropping your baggage, what does that mean to you? And where do you start? What do you think, Cambell?
Yeah. I think a big one is obligation, right? I think obligation is a big backpack that people wear, and that keeps people, stops people from changing, right? Keeps pulling them back into the system. It's like, I'm going to go and I'm going to start a, off-grid community. And then, the system is, but what about this? But what about that? But, your kids need to go to school, or you need to pay your rent, or blah, blah, blah. And this holds people in because, again, and for me, it comes back to they're projecting from the past. And of course, as we know, the past is a teacher, not a prophet, which means the past is there to tell us where we went right or wrong. It's not there to prophesize that we're going to go through that exact thing again. It's not there to say, well, you failed before, so you're going to fail again. It's there to say, you failed because of this, this, and this. So do it differently. Differently. It's just a mistake, right? So yeah.
Obligation's a good one. I hear it all the time for a lot of people that talk to us about our freedom shift or other ways they've wanted to work with me or not. Is, they want to, and then they fill in their own reasons, and generally they're tied to obligation: children, jobs, money. Could even be, an obligation of a promise to look after your old parents, or to a legal obligations, so to speak, which are the worst, right? Tie you down. I've heard that a lot. I have a legal obligation to live next door for whatever reason, or I can't leave the country for this reason. And really, they're all fine and dandy as far as having challenges, but those are generally, I would say, the first bits of baggage that have to go, because if you really want to go to freedom, and then you say, as Cambell said, but those butts are what's in your way, whether they're your butts or someone else's butts or all the butts of your neighbors. Exactly. Whoever's big butt is in your way, you got to get those big butts out of your way, because no one wants to look at a butt for the rest of their lives if you want to see freedom.
Exactly. Yeah. So Mix-a-Lot, he liked big butts, but that they're not necessarily good for you. And the thing about obligation is we, most of the time it's society, but we do it to ourselves. as an easy out, right? It's like, oh, I want to do this. So, and you know, you start talking to yourself, oh, that sounds like a bit of effort. That sounds like it's a bit hard. And then you know, a lot of the time it's us who says, well, I can't do it because my kids or because this, you know, and we give ourselves a reason to stay in the same spot. So we need to understand that that's just going to keep you in the same spot. That's all an excuse is, right? It's just something to say, basically, I'm lazy and I can't be bothered. And so I'm just going to sit here. But the problem with doing that is, you know, a few years down the line, people are never happy with that decision. It's much easier to just, you know, to step, you know, because it's scary changing. It is. It's, you know, we don't know where we're going. You know, it's like the path less trodden, right? But it's more fun. It's more adventurous, and it's not that hard. The system tells you it's hard because why? It's all this obligation. They don't want you to walk away. They don't want you to try something new. They want you to come back and be a lemming, right? Come and join the crowd. Look, we'll give you, you know, fluoridated water and chemically, you know, impacted food and come back and join the debt crew, you know.
The dead crew.
Yeah, the dead crew, right? And this is really, you know, when we make decisions, we need to sort of, you know, extrapolate it out a few years. Where is this going to get me? Before you act on it, where is this going to get you? And most of the time, you know, if you go through it, you'll find that all your fears are crap, and you can do it. And as long as you drop a lot of this stuff, the obligation, the beliefs, you know, the self-limiting beliefs, all this kind of stuff, the buts, right? Get rid of your buts.
Yeah, I don't think there's one way for anybody to get to freedom or to decide or to look to their neighbor or not. Everyone probably has their own unique path in how they need to get to where they need to go, since it was their choices and their unique path that brought them to where they are. And if you're perfectly happy, content, satisfied, you know, delirious with glory, joy, and beauty, and love, and abundance, and all those things where you are right now, then you know, you can turn this video off right now. You've already escaped your freedom, I would say, and there's nothing more to say. You know, on the other hand, you know, if you're watching, and I'm getting ready for all the people that are going to type their reasons down or their excuses, you know, but it's easy for you, or what about this reason, or I can't, or I shouldn't, or I mustn't, or I won't, or whatever. You know, Cambell and I have faced all of those things. I face them every day. You know, every day the challenge is monetarily speaking. Every day the challenge is physically speaking. Every day the challenge is abundantly food related, health related, legal, law, you know, fill in your own blanks. But I'm happy to say when I come here today that I found my way over, under, and through all of them simply by making the effort. The answers were not there at the beginning. You know, once again, and I know we've said this before, a year or so ago when Cambell and I started these, I had no clue and no idea as to where things were going. And now we're coming to a place where things are really starting to expand and people are coming to join us, and our business is looking like it's getting ready to, you know, spurt and grow, and the efforts and exchanges and wisdom and comedy and distresses and failures and all these things we've gotten to share literally have brought a new light to my life, I could say, because I've had a chance to examine them and to be challenged on all of them, you know, from a lot of the efforts we've done. And it's allowed me to even get to this place where I didn't know our next Odyssey of Truth was going to be Escape to Freedom until we finished our last one, Jumping Overboard. And I go, oh, are we finished? And then we chatted a little, Cambell and I said, you know, what's next? Well, maybe the big thing, freedom. And, you know, here we are. Even to today, I didn't know we were going to do Dropping Your Baggage until literally 2 minutes before I emailed Cambell and said, are we going to start? Are we going on today? That little inspirational voice said to me, start with this one and invite other people along. And it only happened because we took a chance, and here we are doing this.
Yeah, exactly. And unless you take that chance and then keep going, you're never going to be worthy of God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, helping you. And this is the thing, we have to be worthy, we have to deserve things. We can't, you know, it's like with children, right? If a child wants something and you say, well, go mow the back lawn and you can have, you know, your ball or whatever. If they don't mow the back lawn, are you going to give them the ball? No, because they're not worthy, right? They haven't done anything. If we just give stuff to people, they just become takers. That's it. They don't become anything of any value. So yeah, this is the thing. You know, we need to become the kind of people that deserve the future we want, and a lot of that is letting go. Most of it, I would say, is letting go of who we thought we were, because we have this thing called, you know, a self-image, and that's our default of who we think we are, and that's everything, right? Like, I'm good looking, I'm smart, or I'm not. You know, most of the time, unfortunately, it's I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm blah blah blah. But that's what we need to drop, and we need to. The best way to do that, well, I think the only way to do that is to prove ourselves wrong, and that takes trust, right? You need to step out, like it's like Lorenzo was saying. We didn't know where this would lead, but we kept going, and this we definitely didn't have instant, you know, success. You know, we're getting, you know, thousands of views of video now, but that it wasn't that way at the start, and we could have gone, oh, this isn't working, bloody hell, let's, you know, let's
Bloody hell.
try something else. Oh my god, 2 episodes and God, no one's, you know, we're not famous. But this is
Time to put on the bikinis and dance.
yeah, you've got to deserve it. You know, we could have given up. And I guarantee you that Lorenzo and I weren't the only ones who started a video series when we did. And I guarantee you many people are not doing it anymore. They're like, oh, this didn't work. Well, it didn't work then. You know, you just keep having to redefine, having to go back to your past again, right? What worked, what didn't work? How did you get here? You know, and try different things and trust, and just go and take some action and drop all the crap that's holding you back. Because just think of it this way: you're walking up a mountain, you got a big backpack on, and it's full of summer clothes, right, and beach towels. But you're going up a mountain. It's stuff you don't need. That's going to make your climb really hard. But if you just dump that backpack,
really hard,
then you can get up that mountain a lot faster. So, yeah, this is a thing. All this stuff just holds us back and slows us down.
You know, it's a good. Sure, I mean, the first time.
Oh, I think I've lost you. Are you there? Come on, Lorenzo.
You know, I was so crazy, right? You know, I filled with.
Sorry, I just lost you there for.
To me at the time, and when,
do you want to start that again? I just lost you for like a minute or so.
Okay, no worries. So, you know, as Campbell said with the backpack, first time I decided to go on my journey to freedom, you know, after I stopped being a regular person in Toronto in Canada, you know, I filled my backpack to the brim with everything. I bought snake bite venom. I remember, you know, first aid kits. Like, I had a thick Mexican cookbook because I like cooking. You know, I brought all kinds of crazy things. Extra clothes that, you know, until the point when I hit my first mountain in Mexico and I going, holy shit, you know, I could barely make it up 20% of the way because my backpack must have been 50 kilos at the time. So what did I have to do? I had to jettison a lot of the baggage at the time. I had to give away this or drop that and get rid of that. And the other thing, and I'll tell you, the next time I went up the mountain, I made sure I had a much smaller backpack with much less stuff, and figuring, you know, the trust along the way of finding what you need, you know, on the journey is part of dropping the baggage. I guess, you know, you drop the baggage of mistrust and you pick up more power towards allowing your imagination, we'll say, to lead you where you need to go. And I would say that the biggest thing in all of this is you never know what you'll need or you're not going to need in your unknown. So, you know, best, you know, you take yourself in a strong position, you know, drop the rest and see where that takes you.
Yeah. I mean, travel light. You can go a lot further. You know, we see, you know, people who are professional kind of hikers or whatever, and they're out in the bush, they don't take a lot of stuff. They got like their little backpack and that's it. And they'll just go and camp under the stars. But you see someone going glamping and they rock up with their car and it's like packed to the brim, and they're only staying overnight. Because, you know, we feel that we need these things as some kind of support system. But another thing is, you know, well, apart from the fact that possessions possess, I mean, that's a good point as well, is what I think of a lot is video games where you get, you know, and of course you have a backpack and you can only have 6 things, right? In a video game, or 8 things, and if you want more, you've got to throw things away. But everything you get is just for a purpose. You know, it might be a key to unlock a door or an axe to chop down a tree. And then once you've used them, you don't need them anymore. But what we tend to do is we keep all these things, you know, we use them, and then we just hoard them. When, you know, a lot of the time they'd probably be better off in other people's hands who could use them. So now this is another thing, is we just got this mentality of collecting, right? We're collectors. You know, when we get something, we don't want to give it away. And we also see that as wealth. You know, I've got more than you. So I think there's, you know, the concept of looking at things as useful, and then using them and then going, well, now it's no longer useful to me, so I don't need it. I've used it, rather than just collecting and hoarding and hoarding and hoarding.
Yep. And when you start to go on your journey, the storms come, as is happening with me and Cambell again. You might see some bouncing around, some jumping. Things aren't comfortable once you go on freedom. So one of the things of the baggage, my proper English here is coming out. One of the bits of baggage you may have to drop would be your comforts, right? What you expect, what you don't expect, knowing, it's part of what Cambell said about collecting. The reason I used to collect my things, my tools, my whatever, says I want to have it when I need it. And so I want to use it exactly when, and I don't want someone else to borrow my stuff because maybe they'll break it. And even though you may use something once a year, right? Or once a week, whatever it is, a pan, an oven, a lawnmower. And, it's the ego that wants it when they want it, where they want it, how they want it. And maybe you don't want anyone else touching your stuff because something bad might happen to your stuff because you spent so much time at work earning the money to earn those things that, I'll be damned if I'll share that with anyone who might break it and I have to, work hard and get it again. And it's all really related to, as Cambell said, possessed by your possessions and your I would say your possessions and your, what is the word I'm looking for? Your ideals for a thing. Yeah, your preconceived notions for what you want. It's not what I'm thinking about. The word will come back to me. Preferences, that's it. Your preferences of when you want things and how you want things and where you want things. And, that's one of the ideas and beliefs and ego-based baggages, I would say, is your preferences. Oh my goodness, that I have to lose all my preferences to get to where I am today on this path of my own freedom.
Yeah, well, this is what society wants to teach us, is that the more we have, the more control we have. But clearly that's not true. But that's definitely what we're shown, right? The people with the big houses and the big paychecks and all the stuff, they're the experts and, the leaders and all this kind of stuff. Where the dude living in the jungle, in a grass hut, he's not significant because he's just, all he's got is a grass hut and all the freedom in the world, right? Which is what we don't think of. They've got us focused on the physical, and we're trading our mental freedom for a physical jail. That's it. And all these things, we know, you buy a house, you buy a car, you buy furniture for it. That's just debt. That's just got you stuck in the system, in a job for the next 10, 20, 30 years, with the illusion that that's your freedom. And it's kind of like you just said then, Lorenzo, you want everything just in case you need it, right? It's like with the house, it's like, well, that's your freedom. It's just going to take you 30 years to get there. You're just going to have to be a slave for 30 years, pay it off, and then you'll be free when you're not probably young enough to enjoy it anymore. So, yeah, we just need to look at things for what they are. Maybe what we're told to hang on to is what we should let go of. And what we should be hanging on to, also is things that can't be taken from us, right? Ideas, skills, ideals, all this kind of stuff, the kind of person you are. If you're a carpenter and you know how to make a table, no one can take that away from you. They can take the table away, but then you can go make another one. So this is the thing. I think it's skills and the non-physical stuff is the best stuff to hold on to, because when you realize that that's where all the physical stuff comes from anyway, well, if you've got the mental stuff, you can always recreate the physical stuff, can't you?
Yeah. And well, again, I'm not telling anyone to do anything. Cambell's not telling anyone to do anything. This is all couched with the topic of, if you want to go to freedom, if you want to escape to freedom, the title of this series. No one's saying you should drop your house or your car or your relationships or your job or your money or your lawnmower or your doctor or whatever, right? It's up to you to make those choices for yourself. In fact, part of dropping the baggage, I would say, is dropping the baggage of taking anybody's opinion about anything other than, figuring it out for yourself. Let's say the baggage of belief, you could say as well. That's a huge one, believing someone knows better than you for whatever topic, whether, your nutrition or your living circumstances, your retirement circumstances, fill in your own blanks. This is all in relation to what we've seen, what Cambell's seen, what I've seen, other people we've chatted with, is if you do want to escape to freedom, make a list of all the things that are maybe stopping you from getting to where you would like to go, title that list baggage, and then watch, if you want to, the rest of this series, because we're going to talk about the baggage of belief, the baggage of duty, the baggage of understanding, the baggage of science, or you could say the baggage of knowledge, which is a huge one too. The baggage of growing some big balls, if you like, or not having any, if you need to have some dedication to what you need to do. All of these things that are disallowing your movement to where you would like to go to have a happy life. I would say you could label baggage of one kind or another. And then you could come back to this video and you could maybe re-see, if you disagree with anything we're saying here, why we feel you have to drop this baggage if you want to go to your own freedom.
Yeah, and it's up to us, right? If it is to be, it's up to me. We give ourselves, excuses of baggage too, right? That they're just like the handbag baggage, that we go to all the time, right? Oh, well, need an excuse, pull out my wallet. Oh, look at all those excuses I've got. So, we need to drop that. I mean, just on a personal note, many people know my left arm hasn't worked for over a year now. Well, my arm works now, but my hand's still getting there. And I'm living in a bus that needed to be renovated. And so guess what I did? I didn't go inside and cry and think, oh my God, I can't do this. I just did it. And I've got it half done and with one arm, right? And most people would be sitting there crying, oh, I did this and now I can't fix. Well, we create a reality. While those people are still sitting there crying, by the time my hand works, my bus will be finished and I'll be off. So, whatever you do, whatever you want to do, you're going to get obstacles. Because literally, I got this bus and literally within 2 weeks, crashed my car, couldn't do anything to it. But it's how we it's how we act. We've got not got to react so much, which is also baggage. All these excuses and things, these go-to reactions. I can't do it because of this. The truth is, if you look around the world, there's someone in your position who has done it. So clearly, it's just an excuse. So yeah,
and if something,
there you go.
And if something's not working, work through it. I mean, sitting and waiting for something to heal. My personal experience is, I hurt my foot pretty badly about a year ago, and I went to see a doctor here, and I was, my crazy head told me, get an operation, do this, maybe you need someone to cut you. I was having a lot of trouble walking, and I went to see the doctor, and at the time I got angry with him because he said, nah, you just twisted a nerve or a ligament or something like that. Don't worry about it, right? You can, so many people come in like this, eventually you'll figure it out. And I went home pretty angry at him for a few days because my head kept telling me, you need a doctor, you need to cut into your toe, you need to snip what's going on. Like it felt like I literally had a thorn in my foot. And the doctor said, no, you've twisted, this ligament, and that's just the way it is. Do this exercise, do that exercise, and you'll be all right. And I walked through it, eventually painfully at first, and then more and more every day. And then, eventually one day it didn't hurt at all. And I walked through the pain by telling my body that I can do it instead of sitting around. I tried sitting around for a month waiting for it to get better too. I go, well, I got to sit here and wait, and never got better. It stayed exactly like day after day after day after day, not one millimeter better or one bit better, until I started actually walking through the pain and telling my body and showing my body. And I would say that's a good way to extrapolate to any challenge you have, whether it's monetary, whether you're lonely, whether it's physical, whether it's familial, whether you're attached to a job. For sure, you have to kind of let it go. You can't wait till you have a certain amount of savings, let's say, and start walking in that other direction. And bit by bit, slowly by slowly, your life, because you're living in your freedom and by your actions, the world is noticing you really mean it, will give you other ideas, right? Well, there's been nothing but some ideas coming for Cambell from so many people out there that are saying, maybe I can help him with this, maybe I can help him with that. So, he's not hiding it. Maybe someone's ashamed if they hurt themselves and they go, well, I can't tell anybody. But by working through it, you just never know. What I'm really getting at is the kind of help and aid you're going to get. So you got to drop, again, that baggage of certainty of a certain your destination, and just go for it.
yeah go for it, because that's the biggest baggage of all, is the program telling you if you go for it you'll fail, oh it's hard, blah blah blah. But really, freedom's on the other side of action, isn't it? Like, as long as you take the actions, where you're going, so that they're decisive actions, and you don't give up, well, you can't fail. and we know there is no fail anyway, right? Just mistakes. So I think, yeah, just understand that we're going into a new world, and you just cannot drag the old world into the new world. It's just not going to work, and for the fact we don't want it there anyway. So yeah, like I would say, just decide where you want to go, and think about what do you need? Do you need 4 cars and a massive house to get there? Do you need all this stuff? Because I just moved house as well, and we moved to a smaller house, and we decided we're just going to and we gave away so much furniture. We just gave it away, and we've been here like 6 months. I haven't missed anything. And this is what you find when you get rid of stuff. You're like, oh my God, what will I do without it? 6 months later, you've forgotten you ever owned it. You don't need it. You'll never use it. So, yeah, I think that's the big one. Just drop all the stuff, whether it be mental, physical, whatever, spiritual, and just put a bit of trust and a bit of action into it and see what happens.
Yep. I missed a bit of that, but I hope it came through on your end. The picture's been jumping around, so maybe when we record it, we'll get to share it. But, I figured this could be a short one until we bring on some of the experts on different kinds of baggage that you can drop. The specifics, we're going to go along the. And if we miss something, this note, see what I've thought of ourselves yet. And yeah, drop your baggage. Today I'm dropping the baggage of wanting a perfect video because we're still jumping around.
Are you there? Keep dropping out. Recording.
Again.
Oh, I can hear you there.
Hello.
There you are. I think I can't see you though. God, this is not doing well. All right, can you hear me now? Keeps trying to connect. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Oh, you are there. All right. All right. Let's do.
You're kind of moving.
Oh, can you see me? Hear me? Kind of.
Kind of.
Kind of. All right. We'll just still closing. Right?
Now we can.
All right.
Oh, we might have to do some edits and dancing, but it seems, drop your baggage, see where it takes you. It's easy to say. I know it's not so easy to do. There's lots of people that have had similar cases, whatever they do for you, and feel if you want to be free, you really have no choice, but to let it go.
Exactly right. Drop it all, jump overboard, and don't take your bag. Swim to that paradise island. So there we go. Yeah, well, hopefully this video's turned out right. We had a few internet issues. I've got a big storm coming on, but this is a thing, right? There's always a big storm to come on when you try and get something done. And we could have given up and gone, oh, well, we can't do this one, Lorenzo. But, I think this is the 4th time we've reconnected. So we're going to get it done, right? Because we want to. That's our intention. So that's the main thing is, you've got everything you need inside you guys. So keep that and drop all the physical stuff. It's just possessions to possess you. So thanks for joining us. As Lorenzo mentioned, we're going to get into some interviews now. We'll be getting some really good people and getting into some practical, information of how we do this, how we get, find that path that goes off sideways and start hiking down there and get to this amazing place that we all want to be at. So there you go. Thanks, Lorenzo.
Stay tuned. I'm looking forward to talking. Yep. Thank you, Cambell. It's been beautiful, challenging, and wonderful, just like my path to freedom.
Indeed, it always is. So thanks everyone for joining us. Make sure you give us a like, a subscribe, a comment. Of course, Lorenzo's channel will be in the links as well. So go and check his channel out. Give him a subscribe.
Freedom shift. Whether you want to meet people, whether you want to develop content, whether you want to do business, whether you want to do all three, I know from experience and what we have going on, Cambell and I and the other people joining our hub can help you out.
And we just want to grow it, and we want to grow it with good people who have good intentions, and make it a hub where we can all learn off each other. We can share ideas and cross promote each other, and basically all help each other, you know, build a future that's not reliant on the system, right? The system that put us in this situation in the first place.
People have asked us why we've started Freedom Shift. I've been asked many times, and some people have maybe misinterpreted why we're doing what we're doing with our Freedom Shift. So Cambell and I are making this video to be very clear. Our intent, straightforward, good people doing good things for good reasons.
I mean, this is the crux of it all, is we all know, guys, we need to build the new world. So that's really, you know, what we're trying to do here is put our energy into helping that happen. So yeah, if you've got an idea, something you want to do, even if you're not completely sure of what you want to do, but you want to do something, if you're an action person and you want to get out there and start doing, and we'll see what the possibilities are. And we've definitely got something that we can offer you.
Yeah, there's no obligation to chat. We don't mind if you say yes. We don't mind if you say no. We're simply happy to share what we can do together, what we feel will work. And this is our system. I'm going to be very clear. This is a system Cambell and I are setting up. There's a few other people working with us. We want to be successful. We want to make a nice community. We want to love you. We want to be loved. Cambell and I have been figuring our way through this. We're happy to share what we figured out. We're happy for your input and your experience and your intelligence as well. We figure together we'll be stronger than apart. It's the old Zen saying, maybe it's a parable. Maybe it's Kung Fu, I'm not sure. One arrow, easy to break. A whole bunch of arrows, harder to break. That's how the monsters take over the world. They act together, armies, police, politicians, all in cahoots, you know, moving in one direction. So as we can do that as well, but with better people for better reasons, we will also be unstoppable, unbreakable, and our destiny could be unavoidable. But it's not going to happen without some effort. So, you know, come on, join us. We're happy to have you. And got nothing to lose except your slavery, in my opinion.
Indeed, and everything to gain. So have an amazing day, guys. Thanks for joining us, and you'll find all the links below. Click on them and let's chat. All right, cheers, guys. Bye for now.
See you soon.